Back before Hollywood. Back before Nike. Back before any of it.
I just wonder how long I've been sleeping. I'm in love with the demons.
Elizabeth, New Jersey.
I want it again. I tell her, man, I'm gonna get even. I'm in love with my demons.
Would I get out? Could I get out? And if I did, would I ever come back?
I said, girl, I ain't got time for that.
Of course, the answer to that question is yes. Who doesn't come back home? However, this trip was a little different.
I'm in love with my demons.
I had a mission, a small crew and very little time to grab what I thought and still think could be the basis of some entertaining TV surrounding what we call the sneaker culture. After I landed, I took a trip by the old neighborhood, the old street, Ripley Place, the street where I grew up, the street that held the house with the small backyard where I spent hours upon hours, dribbling, and dribbling. Luckily, all the dribbling paid off, because even given its close proximity to New York City, there aren't too many other options to make it out of Elizabeth. Yo, I'm excited about this morning. I'm meeting up with one of my peers from the Nike Freestyle campaign, Kool Bob, Cucumber Slice, the one, the only, Bobbito Garcia, Kool Bob Love. Ooh, ooh. Yo, so if you don't know already, Bob has been responsible for countless successes in hip-hop, film, radio, publishing, and the sneaker community. We're meeting by his place in Brooklyn. I haven't seen Bob in years. This should be dope. Thanks,
Yep.
Yopi. Always a pleasure,
What
Bob.
up?
Hey, man, so cool question, Bob.
Cold hands, warm heart.
No, that's it,
It's my dude right here. You know that? Yeah.
Hey, yo, so real quick, man. Born and raised, New York City?
I am officially New Yorker to the fullest. Spent 50 plus years living in Harlem and Upper West Side and LES and now I live in Brooklyn, baby. It's a very strong vibe that lives here in the city, you know, and manifests itself in multiple cultures.
And that brings you to why in New York, right? You travel everywhere, and that's the reason why you're back into the city. Just because of that is a different element that you can't get. I mean, you travel the world,
Yeah,
right? Japan, everywhere, every continent.
I've been to 44 countries at this point, 6 continents, all via basketball, music, and sneakers. And I can honestly say there is some magical places in the world that I could see myself perhaps spending winters in. There's nothing like New York. You know, you take this playground, for example, Broward and Crown Heights, you got your skateboarders, you got your Hasidic Jewish community that comes here to play ball.
Noticed that.
You got your Afro-Caribbean community that plays ball. Sometimes they play together. You know, it's very rare that you're gonna get the mix of people, you know, in one social space that you get on a constant level in New York City.
We met 2001 Nike Freestyle. We got busy. What you been doing since?
Well, first of all, let me state clearly that you got busy. The rest of us are kind of like, who's this kid? Because you were from Linden, New Jersey, and you had your own take on ball handling. We had our take on ball handling, and we're trying to be progressive and creative. You really took it up a bunch of notches, and honestly, like, inspired all of us.
Wow.
You know, yeah. So most recently, I decided to keep on the roll with my filmmaking, and I directed, produced, wrote an autobiographical documentary titled Rock, Rubber 45s. Rock standing for basketball, rubber standing for sneaker culture, 45 standing for the music and the hip hop, that's the 3 narratives that are in my veins.
Right.
And I wanted to sort of present them as a collective. I'm also a DJ, I'm also a sneaker designer. I've worked
author,
with,
right? Also an author.
Yeah, I authored the book, Where'd You Get Those? New York City Sneaker Culture, 1960 to 1987. It was released in 2003. It was the first of its kind, and that it really, from a sociological perspective, told the narrative of people that have this mindset, this mentality of an approach towards sneakers that was unprecedented.
Right.
I also had the great fortune to be the first person to document sneaker culture in media history. I wrote an article called Confessions of a Sneaker Addict back in 1990 for The Source magazine. It was published in 91. Because, you know, people wore sneakers back in the 50s, casuals, you know, But when you combine hip hop and you combine playground basketball into that narrative, into that vein, into that avenue, it developed into something strange,
Right.
unprecedented, and phenomenally strong.
Right.
And we're still seeing the pulse of that, 30, 40 years later.
I want you just to explain to me, because I can take this, what this actually means to you.
Woo! Okay, well,
So explain this. I mean, because the box is dope. I mean,
thank you. I'm gonna break it down for you. Basically, I started painting sneakers in the 70s. The burgeoning sneaker movement that my brother sort of affixed himself to left a huge seed in my brain of just trying to be progressive, trying to be unique.
Right.
And I started customizing my sneakers in the late 70s, early 80s. Really got nice at it by the time I was in high school. And by the late 80s, I became reputable in the hip hop space. So, Third Base, De La Soul, they were all peeping the sneakers that I was customizing. So I caught a rep, and by 2005, it's like my status in sneakers and my status in basketball, my status in hip hop is like
parallel,
luminary in each. And so anyway, the Adidas Superstar model was celebrating its 35th anniversary. They gave me the opportunity to give my little spin on it.
Right.
I did the Project Playground logo, which was in part inspired by the Nike Freestyle commercial.
Of course.
We were doing halftime shows at NBA arenas. So anyway, so I put the Project Playground logo on the Adidas. In 2007, I did the Nike Air Force One 25th anniversary, which was bananas. It
wasn't easy for me to get that pair, by the way.
Yeah. So back basically in 2016, Puma approaches me.
Okay.
And they wanted me to put my little my little imprint on the Clyde.
Right.
Which is like, that's as iconic as you can get. There's the Puma Clyde, you got the Adidas Superstar, Nike Air Force One, the Converse Chuck Taylor.
Right.
You're talking about top 5 sneakers of all time.
Right.
Both in sales and cultural iconic status. So those blew out. Puma was super happy. They came back to me and said, yo, we want to do the 50th anniversary of the suede with you. And so I said, cool, we're going to put it with a spin on
so dope, by the way.
making the shoe simple, sleek, with the aesthetic of a ball player. Because, people forget, and the narrative has been lost, that the Puma suede was first and foremost a basketball sneaker.
Right.
Performance.
Right.
Nowadays people don't even think about that. They'd be like, oh, word, the Puma, I'm gonna b-boy, I'm gonna skate in them.
Right.
I'm gonna, go to the club.
Right.
I'm gonna listen to Rihanna in my Pumas. No, like this is the ball player sneaker. So I put the gum bottom on, which, you rarely see the suede with gum bottoms.
Gum bottoms, right.
I put them in team colors. But then to really give it the extra, I was like, yo, I did a radio show. I gave them this image of an actual cassette by collector Vaz. He's also known as Nice and Nasty Vaz. So in any event, to give Vaz some life in this collaboration, I asked to borrow his cassette. We got a beautiful photo of it. It's on the shoebox. I put my little signature on there. And I'm very happy that you have a pair.
No, man, absolutely. And if you just got to do me one favor, I know
What's
you
that?
love me. You got to sign them for me.
Of course, B, come on, yo. You want me to sign the shoe?
Please, the actual shoe.
But the
for me.
signature's already here.
Yeah, but I need it for me. Listen,
Okay.
I don't get a chance to see
All
you
right.
every day, Bob.
Yeah, you're right.
Yo, Bobbito, that's my guy. He's an ice water dude, bro. I tell you, I got to do a better job staying in touch with him this time around.